Hello again, it's Professor Gray with you once again, and it's time for our second video lecture, the Listening Lab lecture. It's Unit 8 today, our final unit. This will be the last unit we study in the book. After this, we'll take a 1 week break from Listening Lab, and then the following week, you will have your Listening Lab final exam. The final exam will be online. It'll be similar to the midterm test. I'll send you questions, you'll have to answer them, and then send me your answer in a certain amount of time. I'll give you more information about that later, but I'll tell you now that the Listening Lab test will be during the class time, the Listening Lab class time. Not this week or next week, but in 2 weeks. Okay? So today we study Unit 8, then you have a couple weeks to prepare, review and prepare for the Listening Lab final test, online final test. Okay, it'll be on all 8 units that we studied this semester in the Listening Lab class. Can you believe it? Page 30. Have any of these strange experiences happened to you? You thought of someone and then they called you. In English we say, speak of the devil. Wow, speak of the devil. Somebody walks in, we were just talking about you. That happens a lot. I think in Korean you say, talking about a tiger, and then a tiger appears, something like that. Number 2, a shooting star, a star fall in the sky. That's a shooting star. Your house key wouldn't open your door. You couldn't find your car in a small parking lot. You looked in your refrigerator for a steak that you bought, but it wasn't there. Maybe your brother took it, or your parents, or your roommate stole your food. Number 6, you saw someone who looked exactly like yourself. I used to have a teammate on when I played sports who was younger than me, but he looked a lot like me. And we looked like a younger brother or a younger version of me, but not exactly, just a little bit similar. All right, number 1, part 1. Friends are telling unusual stories about people breaking the law. What did each person do? So part 1 is talking about breaking the law. Unusual stories in the news about people doing illegal things. What did they do? Listen and answer. Go ahead. B, number 1, pulled out the power cable. He was arrested. Arrested means like stopped and taken by the police. When the police stop you, arrest means stop. And they take you in the car to the police station. You've been arrested. You've stopped. You can't go where you want to go. You can't walk down the street. You're stopped and taken to the police station. To get out of something is to avoid doing it. Get out of work, avoid having to work. Number 2, A, overfed her pig. Over means too much. Fed, feeding, food. Too much food, and the pig got huge. She neglected. Neglect is when you don't do something or don't take care of something. Neglect your pet, your son, your daughter, your homework. If you neglect your homework, you don't do your homework. A. Number 3, B, took other people's customers. Plumber. Plumber is the usually man that takes care of the water system in your house. Plumbing refers to the water, all the water pipes, and the sinks and the bathtubs, the toilets, everything. That's plumbing. And the man who works with that, who helps that, is called a plumber. B, he stole customers. Bad guy. Number 4, C, couldn't drive a stolen car. Getaway car, right? A stolen car. When you're a thief, you do something illegal and you want to run away quickly. You have a car, and you quickly drive away in the car. You get away fast. It's called a getaway car, but it was a stick shift. It was manual, not automatic. Most cars these days are automatic. They change gears automatically as you drive faster. But some cars, like especially sports cars and Racing cars have a stick shift that you change with your hand, right? And he didn't know how to drive with the stick shift. C. Number 5, also C, tried to smuggle animals. Smuggle is when you bring something illegally into a country. He tried to bring animals under his shirt. He had snakes and lizards. Very strange. Number 6, B, tried to rob, steal from a drugstore. Drugstore is also called pharmacy. Hey, a yakuk in English can be pharmacy, drugstore. In British English, they call it chemist. Chemist. But we don't say chemist in American English. We say drugstore, and it's usually drugstore, but sometimes pharmacy. Listen again. Practice, check your answers. Listen to part 1 again. Part 2, page 31. Newscasters are reporting unusual stories, strange stories in the news. Which headlines match their stories? Listen and check the correct headline. Okay, listen and check. Go ahead. Part 2, sorry. Number 1, a penny for your college tuition. Penny is 1 cent, like ship 1. What an interesting story. In the column, a column is a regular section of the newspaper. Usually there's a picture of the person's face, and they write every week or maybe twice a week. That's called a column. It's not really like brand new news. It's more of an interesting story about people. So this young man asked people to send 1 penny, ship 1, and he would collect the money, and it helped him pay his college tuition. Tuition is the fee you pay the university every semester or every year. You pay the university tuition for study fee. Number 2, B, flushers wanted. Flush is when you push down or push the button to make the toilet water go down, to empty the toilet and new water in the toilet. No experience necessary. Okay, more plumbing. This is the plumbing, right? Flushing the water is activating the plumbing, the water system in the stadium. Now, arena is really wrong here. Arena is usually smaller and indoors, like basketball arena, hockey arena, volleyball is in an arena, gymnastics, smaller and inside. And arena originally means sand. And because of the floor was sand, they would compete on sand in the ancient Roman times. Stadium is big. Stadium is like, for soccer, American football, rugby, track and field, Olympics. That's a stadium, big outdoor stadium. Next one is talking about mummies. A mummy, mira. B, Colombian soil is a mummy maker. Colombia is in South America, but they have soil, earth, the dirt in the ground has some special chemicals. If you bury a body in the ground, they become a mummy. It mummifies them, just like the Egyptian mummies of thousands of years ago. B, Colombian soil is a mummy maker. Words like pharaoh means the Egyptian king, like Tutankhamun was a pharaoh, Ramses was a pharaoh. Eternity means forever, to live forever, live for eternity, forever, never going away, never dying. And they had a very elaborate ceremony. Elaborate means fancy, complicated, maybe lots of dancing, lots of art, lots of ceremony. Okay, very, very elaborate, not plain, not basic. Number 4, is A, Mansu's employer, because his job is boring. He ended up with a very boring job and nothing to do. Ended up means final result. What happened at the end, right? Ended up. Listen again, check your answers and answer task 2. Are they true or false? Listen again. Number one, the young man ended up with $28,000. Yes. Now, that's about Samchun Manan. Jun. Could you imagine having Samchun Manan? That's good, but it's all Shipwon coins. Shipwon coins totaling Samchun Manan. It would be very difficult to bring it to the bank, but the bank would accept it. The bank must accept it. It's Korean money. So the bank would accept the pennies in the US, $28,000. Good for him. Number two, a football team wants to hire 200 students. No. 250, not 200, 250. So false. They need to flush the toilet all together. 1, 2, 3, flush, to check the plumbing in the stadium. Number three, San Bernardo is a city in Egypt. No, false. It's in Colombia. Colombia is in South America, not Egypt. Number four, a government worker left a high-paying business job. Yes, true. Okay, if you need to listen again, please listen again. Check task 1 and 2 if you feel you need to. Go ahead. Task 3, or part 3, I should say, page 32. Task 1, people are talking about unusual stories in the news. What are the stories about? Match the picture to the story. Number 1 is done for you. It's picture B. Listen and answer all 6. Go ahead. Number 1 is, of course, B. That is floating. He's on a float mat. He's floating or drifting. Float and drift are the same. When you're on the water and you're just sort of following the water, no power. Just like a balloon floating in the air, just following the wind, just as the man in the picture is following the ocean. Floating, drifting, and offshore. Offshore means away from land. Shore, S-H-O-R-E, shore is where the water meets the land, like at a beach, as one example. But offshore means away from shore, away from the land. So he was off land quite a ways. Number 2 is picture C, twins. Look at the picture, 2 women that are twins, and you can see they're on a college campus there. Number 3 is E, oh, bad guy. He was illegally pulling a scam, S-C-A-M, scam means illegal trick. You know, on like online scam, we call it, when they try to trick you to steal your money online. Send money and you will receive, no, never. That's a scam, that's illegal. They're tricking you to steal your money. So this man illegally was, wow. So he was checking in 2 bags, and then he was putting one bag inside the other and saying, hey, I have only 1 bag, you lost my bag, give me money. Wow. Finally, he got caught. Bad guy. Number 4 is picture A. This camera, again, drifted, floated on the ocean a very long way. Somebody picked it up. When it hit shore, they found the camera, then found the owner. How lucky is that? Number 5, D, newborn. Newborn means brand new baby. Absolutely new baby, just born. And they're twins. Look at them next to each other. Very cute picture. Twins, newborn twins. And number 6, of course, is F. The man and his son are sleeping. The house is on fire. And you see in the cage, you see a parrot. The parrot was imitating the sound of the alarm. Copying or imitating or even parroting, you can say, the alarm sound to wake the man and the boy up and I guess save their lives. Lucky thing they had a pet parrot. A very smart one too. Good for the parrot. All right, listen again and check the answers for task 2. Listen, recheck task 1, listen for the keywords, check task 2. Go ahead. Number 1, how far was the man from the beach? From the beach, offshore. away from shore, away from land. A, 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers, very far. He had floated 1.6 kilometers, 1 mile away from land. A. Number 2, they found each other in college. B, look at the picture. That looks like college campus. B. Number 3, the man stole $135,000. That's like ilok ochanmanan. Wow, that's a lot of money, but he got caught. He was caught with his illegal scam, but he stole a lot of money before then. B. Number 4, A, 1,000 miles. That means 1,600 kilometer, 1,600 kilometers. Long, floated on the ocean. Drifted. Finally hit land, and they looked at the pictures and found the owner. Number 5, A, a nurse placed them together. The two babies, newborn babies. A nurse. And number 6, the smoke alarm. B, wasn't very loud. It was too quiet. And they slept through it. And so the parrot was very noisy, copying the alarm sound, and the man and the son were alive. They got out. I sure hope they took the parrot with them. He's in a cage. He saved their lives. I'm sure they did. Of course, they brought the parrot out of the house when they left. Next, page 33. Now, task 1, as always, you can do self-study practice of task 1. Listen and repeat. Okay, the drugstore employees called the police after he left. Okay, tone's going down. The drugstore employees called the police after he left. You can practice that for self-study if you like. That's optional. Task 2 is not optional. Dictation. Listen twice, fill in the blanks. Go ahead. A, did you hear? Capital D. No capital? Wrong. Did you hear? Did you hear about that guy who sent himself somewhere in a box? Next one, he didn't want to pay for a plane ticket. He didn't want. He didn't want to pay for a plane ticket. Yeah, what did he do? What did he do? What? Capital W. What did he do? No capital? Wrong. He figured, he thought, he guessed, he thought he could save money by mailing himself to Dallas. He packed himself in a box and went on the airplane in a box. Very strange. You're kidding me. You're joking. Seriously? Really? You're kidding me means, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Capital Y, you're. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Capital Y, you're kidding. K-I-D-D-I-N-G, me. That must have been some trip. Some trip. Wow, incredible, amazing, dangerous. Some trip. Listen again. Okay, did you hear? Capital D. He didn't want. What did he do? Capital W. What? You're kidding me. Capital Y. You're kidding me. You're joking. I can't believe it. Wow, that must have been an amazing trip. Okay, everyone, good work. That's all for Unit 8. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Very strange stories, but I can believe one thing. Can you? We are now done with Listening Lab class. So I want you to spend a couple weeks reviewing all the work, focusing on key points from the units, key vocabulary from the units, and there will be a test in 2 weeks' time. I will tell you more about it, next week in the emails that I send you. I'll give you the time. You must be ready. It'll be during class time. Be ready to go at that time to take your listening lab test. Again, more information next week. That's all for this week. Make sure you finish it. Tell me you finish it in your email. Get your email to me by Thursday morning. Bye-bye, everyone.